Hi, it's Megan. So I have a new favorite, yeah, I just said that, favorite eyeshadow. The Viseart eyeshadow palettes. And this one is not out yet. This is number 7 Cool Mattes, and it's out very limited amounts. I actually got this at IMATS in Pasadena, and so they had a warm mattes before, and now they have a cool mattes, which, I don't know, I always get on my little high horses and complain about certain things. I've been complaining lately that too many brands are going too warm toned, and I love warm tone stuff. I have slightly warm toned skin, but a lot of people don't have warm tones, and I actually can go both ways with the warm and cool, and sometimes I like the cool tones, especially when I'm wearing something very cool toned. So this is what the palette looks like, and these are $80 usually, sometimes $75. These are a French company, and these are hand pressed, and they're incredibly finely milled. So there have been issues with these being hard to get, and also with them breaking on travel, shipment, whatever, all that kind of stuff. But I am absolutely in love with these eyeshadows. So I'd done one more review before for Paris Nudes, and I'll put a link to that review in the description to this video. And I actually have the warm nudes. I have not opened it yet because I got these. This one and the other one, Electric Cool, no, I forget what it's called, the number 8, which is also coming out. And this should be out, I think in March is what I heard, but I'm not sure. And let me tell you why I like them. So when I did the Paris Nudes, that one had kind of an iridescence to it. It was not shimmery, but had a sheen. I hadn't tried the mattes before when I did the video. And I thought that palette needed a few more light colors, but I loved all the colors in it. And I mean, I loved all the colors. This one I think is a more balanced palette. It's definitely cool toned. The Paris Nudes had like a color, and then it had like iridescence in a slightly different color oftentimes, not all the time. So you have the sophistication of the shadows, which I thought was just different, unusual, flattering. That's the second reason I like them. They're workable shadows. They look really amazing on. So having tried like a million shadows, I can say that some look beautiful in the pan, don't apply well, some swatch well, they don't apply well to the lids, some just aren't colors that work on people. With all the Viseart shadows, they have all been stunning on. They're just workable, they're flattering, and they tend to be subtle. So third reason I really like them is they just apply where you put them. So I use a lot of little brushes because I'm really precise about where I want shadows to go, and they can be powdery and they go all over. With these, I'm actually having to relearn to apply eyeshadow because they're so precise in where they go. There's none of that powderiness. When you put it on the lid, it's actually there. It's almost, to me, kind of the most like art, if that makes sense, that I've ever seen with eyeshadows. Like if you put it there, it goes there. If you put it heavy, it packs on heavy, and you get more pigment of the color. But in all cases, I actually, A, see the color, B, it goes where it's supposed to go, C, it applies evenly. I almost don't need to blend sometimes because they go on subtly but fully. They're like perfect the way they are. So I have to be really, I don't know, thinking about eyeshadows in a different way with them. And then they're also incredibly consistent. I haven't found one I don't like. So, and what else would I say about them? The other one is that, like I said, when they say it's like cool matte, these are all cool matte. And matte shadows I think are the hardest to do well, but these are really consistent in shade, tone, quality, application, wearability. These wear an amazingly long time. And then also, I don't need to use eyeshadow primer with them. These are one of the few shadows. There are others. Not going to be unfair. These are one of the few shadows where with every shade I can put these on and they last about 8 hours perfectly. No creasing, no nothing. They're amazing. So I really like these. So this is the palette. I'm going to do it this way. The packaging is, you know, it's basic. It gets the job done. It's not glamorous, but I don't know. I kind of like the quality of the shadow enough. It doesn't matter. So the first shade, and this one has some really light shades. So I always look at a palette and I say I need really light shades. I actually really love light shades. I need really light shades up here. Some people no longer put shadow up there. I do, and I like that. And I also sometimes am in a hurry and just want to even out the skin tone on my eyelid, and I just don't want color because I don't have time to deal with color. So I like having lighter colors I can just brush on that will make me look even and a little bit more polished. And so there are some colors here that don't show up so much on me, particularly one, but on the lid they're amazing. And the texture of the shadows, creamy, buttery, it adheres. And by buttery, it's almost like, instead of being super powdery, it's just like this richness and denseness of the texture. That's what buttery means to me. So this is the first one, and they do have names, but I didn't get a box since this isn't officially released yet. They just released about the box, and the names of the shadows are on the box, so I don't have the names, which is okay. I wouldn't have said them anyway because it's too complicated. So this right here, it's not going to swatch on my wrist very well, but it is basically a white with a slight warm pink, which really means almost like a slight pink and then almost ivory tone to it. And the reason I'm kind of balancing that is that it's really just a slightly warmer white tone, which is going to be more flattering than a pure white. The next one is another cool color. This is like a pink purple taupe, and this is again in the super light. The super lights, I have swatches outside. A lot of times the super lights don't always show up that well on camera or swatched. The next one's not going to show up at all because this is almost my skin tone. It show up barely, but when I put it on, this is like a light creamy taupe, and it really does. Whenever I put it on my skin, it just kind of blends in. You can almost see, you can see the little brown. I've mixed this with a lot of other colors, and including a video I did where I mixed it with pink. An amazing shade if you want something that's just so barely there, you look just really flawless but natural. The next, I really like shades like this. Some people say it's not pigment enough. I really like them. The next one is a dark brown taupe. So this is like a shade that we see everywhere, but this one's got a little bit more brown to it, which adds a little bit more richness than some of the other shades. And it almost has, I don't want to say it has a pink undertone, there's like a little rosiness to it, barely. And the sophistication of the colors of these is that you can see that there's like a dab of an undertone, but it's just barely there, so it's really hard to discern. The next one is a really pretty black brown, and this I've used for a liner. I've used it in the crease. Look at the richness of that. So all I'm doing here, I don't believe in fabricated swatches. I'm not getting paid for this by the company, so if it doesn't swatch well, it doesn't swatch well. I do a thing with a little swipe with my finger and a swipe on my arm, and if it doesn't look good, that's not my problem. That's the shadow. So anyway, this is a really rich, beautiful, but still cool tone brown. Very nice color. I love this. I love this one. Then this is like a carnation pink, and again, this is one of those that's not going to show up super well on some people, but it's just very, I don't know, matte pinks can sometimes look kind of Pepto-Bismol, dead. This one doesn't. It's a really pretty one. You're not going to hear me say anything bad about any of the shades or about this palette at all, so if you're expecting that, this is not the video. I've done other really negative videos. This isn't one of them. This right here is a plum, and again, you can see the richness of it. And it has almost like a teeny bit of pink, almost an orchid little thing going on there. The next one I was actually wearing yesterday, and this is a really, I didn't do a good swatch. That was my fault, actually, not the shadow. This is a really beautiful gray, and you can see, again, it's got, I don't know, almost like a bluish undertone to it, but just barely. Very, very pretty. I was actually wearing this one yesterday with a bright blue and a bright green, and it was just the perfect counterbalance for that kind of in-your-face color. The next one is this amazing sapphire navy. So it's really more navy, but then it has just a little bit, I didn't swatch that. That was my fault again. Sometimes when I don't dry off my arm completely, you can see, again, it's almost got like a faded denim thing going on, but it applies. I've actually got this under my eye here as a liner. And with these, I've played both ways with taking like a liner brush and wetting the shadow and not wetting the shadow, and I don't need to wet the shadows. In fact, I was playing with the black earlier today trying to figure out the black, and I did it wet, I did it dry, all kinds of stuff. I still couldn't figure out what color it is. Then it's like a smoky gray plum. And so this is the one I have on the outer part of my lid. right here. And you can see I just applied it softly. I did absolutely almost no blending. So I've got a lighter gray, which is going to come in a minute in here. I've got this darker plum gray, and then I've got just a touch of the blue in the outer corner. But one of the things that I said in the video I did with the pink, it's like a bright fuchsia mixed with the light taupe, is that this was like a natural look that didn't have just the nude look, you know, the same old taupes and kind of nice but worn out browns. Look at how natural my look is. And I've got like a gray purple, and a blue, and they're just muted, soft, beautiful, wearable colors. And I did mix this with this electric bright palette. I've been kind of playing with both and mixing them, and they are the perfect counterpart because that applies that like bright splash of color, and then this mutes it with kind of these soft, cool tone, which very often go with some of these brighter colors. Shades. They're actually really pretty together. So this is my other gray, and this is a it's like a, it's going to be a weird description. It's like a sapphire gray, and then it has like a little undertone of bluish. Now it looks gray to me in this light, but it's a mostly gray with almost like a taupe and then either a sapphire or a purple undertone to it. Very pretty. And then the last one I had the hardest time with, like how hard is it to figure out what color a black is, right? It's black. This is a black, but the best way I finally came up with describing it is it's a really true black, maybe a little bit grayish. It's a cool tone black, but it has almost like a satin finish to it. Much as it's a matte, it has, you know those gel eyeliners? That's what it looks like to me. It looks like a gel eyeliner in a shadow, but it's very pretty. And I almost put this one in this video, and then I decided I wanted to go for a more natural look because I was doing a bolder lip. But I dotted this on my lash line earlier for my workout, and then I showered after. I wear all kinds of things for my workout. It's a little bit crazy. But I dotted it into my, you know, the tight lining, whatever it's called, into my eyelash, dry, and then I did a line wet, and they were both just flawless, and they both lasted throughout my workout just amazingly. So anyway, overall, if you're looking for a cool, neutral, matte palette that can be just really smoked up and built out and used to make just stunning, amazing, strong looks or stunning, amazing day looks, this is absolutely your palette. I'm not so sure as I look in the camera now that I picked the best eye look because I could have done something a lot more dramatic, but anyway, that's what I did. If someone wants to see maybe a tutorial on kind of using this for a really stronger, bolder, smoky eye look, I'm happy to do it. Just let me know. Just put it in the comments. But I don't know. I just was in the mood to do a more natural and muted look because I'm so impressed with how after so many years of these kind of dead, flat, neutral palettes, these palettes just come up with these amazing colors that take it to like, take that concept to a whole new level. So that's why I've been kind of just playing with them that way, creating all these just amazing looks. I'm now babbling, so I think it's time I end this video. Thoughts and comments, suggestions are welcome. And please subscribe on YouTube. That helps me very much. And that is all I'm going to say on this video. Thank you.